Now I'm ready.
You're right. You're not rattled.
A little bit, but we're all right.
Right, Ravaloa. How'd you come up with that name, Scope? Not bad on the old tips, eh? The old top 8, got them right.
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, happy with that. And if we're going even deeper from the start of the season, it's not too bad.
You've always said you do your best work on futures.
Futures. When I take my time, I'm really good when I look at schedules. Like when I look at schedules, you can sort of plan it out a little bit. A few results probably didn't go my way, but overall the base of the bracket worked out well.
What's your World Cup record? Soccer. You've got them all, haven't you?
I missed last World Cup. I was 3 in a row before that.
Not a bad little shout, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, guys, welcome back to the YKTR Sports Show. As always, brought to you in the BodyScience podcast studio. You can go get anything from BodyScience or BSE, as we like to call them, as a bit of a nickname in and around here, from Cole. So joined as always by my guy, Skipper Scope. What's up, baby?
It's always good to be back here Monday. Some good footy over the weekend, some not so good footy, but also rolling to week 1 of finals. A lot going on.
Thank fuck. Yeah? I feel like this has been a longer season, but really looking forward to the finals. We're going to switch it up a little bit this show here. Obviously joined as always by the number 1 producer in the YKTR platform, Ravaloa.
What's up, baby?
How'd you get the nickname Ravaloa?
I don't know. Scope just started calling me this morning, so I don't know.
All right, so you're going to start running the show?
Yeah, bro.
Do you want to talk about the switch up on this?
Yeah, no, so it's just a little bit of a switch up. So obviously I had a bit of a mare with the cables and the plug-in, but we're ready to roll now. We'll basically go through our topics as we always do on a Monday. You've got them queued up on the screen there, so a bit of video element to it too.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll just sort of roll through that, and if it fucks up, then I'll probably get paid out live on the potty. So, but we'll start with you here, Scope. Just a bit of a talking point. Obviously, the Bird Gang got up over the weekend.
Yep.
46-18, and Des finally willing to admit that the boys aren't a sleeper anymore. He says that they're a chance of beating anyone.
So he just said that on the weekend?
He said they've got enough points in them to beat anyone. So that's very undizzy. Scope, what'd you make of the game, and can they knock off the big dogs?
I'm with Desi. I'm with Desi, baby. The Bird Gang are looking good. I'd like to break it down a little bit more on Wednesday and show you the reasons why I believe they can win. But like I said, when I originally did my bracket 5 weeks ago, I thought I needed some more growth. The performances have been a little bit sloppy and a little bit scrappy at times, but the fact that, they did what they had to do to get into that 4th position. And I'll also throw in how this is going to probably come back to bite me, but going into the last 2 or 3 weeks of Melbourne, they've just looked a little bit off the pace. Pappy was back to his best on the weekend, which is a positive sign for him, because I thought he looked a bit hesitant for the last 4 or 5 weeks. But I'm excited. This is the game of the round straight away on Friday night, and I can't.
Oh, is it on Friday night as well?
Friday night.
Fuck, yeah. Exciting! I'm pumped for that.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, great to see sort of Pappy back in form. But yeah, Manly, man, they're just doing their things. Obviously, got their. I know Tommy gets all the thing, but gets all the raps. But DC and Fozzie, they're the halves you want to be having in there. And Fozzie's happy to slide under the radar. He's been the focal point for a lot of teams. Obviously moving into Parramatta on the big deal, then going over to the Warriors, expected to be the saviour, now rolling back to the Bulldogs. Man, I think he's happy just playing in that little 6 role and low key and just doing his thing. So, I don't know. I want to talk about it now, but we'll save it for Wednesday.
Yeah, just before we rip into that, we obviously have to talk about Tommy absolutely taking the piss again. I think you got it queued up there, Ice. So, hit the highlights and let's watch Tommy do his thing. All
right, let's go. Yeah, so I've got it up in here. Did this just remind you of Jared Hayne against the Dragons?
That wasn't it. He really beat, because to go back, he beat 5 guys before that.
Oh, he's a freak, bro.
Olakwatu, bro. He's just they're just going through the paces too. My boys, Big Schmo and Joshy Schuster. Here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Drags 8 and 9 over.
8, 9, 10. Poor Helium Lukey, three of the best. And you know what? The kid had just come on because I talked about him. I got a big rap on him too.
He's good.
I think he come on sort of late in the game and he had a little bit of an error. I think he slipped up on a tackle as well and took him high. Like he had that much energy and he looked like he just wanted to get on and do so much. And poor fella comes on when Tommy's doing that.
Bro, that's freaky. So even the great one. Joey sort of come out and jumped on Instagram.
With the PNG file of Doom.
Yeah, he's just gone on to Google and Tommy Turbo images and got the worst pick you could ever think of.
Well, that's the thing. See, like he's that keen to get it up that he hasn't even gone to Channel 9 and got one of the, our version of Lukey or Jacko to give him, a better photo. He had to get it up. And like I said in my post, game recognised game. And
Ice, you mentioned off the top, that gave you sort of those Jared Hayne Dragons vibes. If they go on deep and they go on to win this, that's going to be one of those highlights that just gets looped and looped and looped and looped.
You're getting all the best players to ever play the game and saying, like, we've never even seen this
Brandy said that in commentary as well. He's like, he referenced Barber and Hayne, and he goes, this is
better. Yeah, this is better.
I will put... Sorry, bro, are you done?
So the one thing he has to do is actually win the... it helps if he wins the comp, you know what I mean? I know he's already solidified as probably the best single season that you could ever have, considering how many games he's played as well.
Yep.
But if he gets it done...
Yeah, so for me, he's already passed it. I said that 3 weeks ago.
I agree.
He's passed Hainsey and Benny Barber. With this play, people compared this play to Hainsey's, and I will take Hainsey's over his for this reason. Hainsey it was a do-or-die final against the best team in the comp. You got to remember, Para were 8th. They were first, respectfully to the Cowboys. They're third last, and they were winning by 10. That was to break the game open, and the quality of players, like for the Dragons on that run that he beat to go through. So, Dean Young, he's a solid defender. Like that team that Hainsey did it against in that context, I'll still take Hainsey's play over this play. So it'd be singularly. But the season, Tommy's season over.
So it'll be like the Fulton Campbell doing it against Melbourne next week. If it was still that old McIntosh system.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
But I don't know, yeah, Tommy's...
That was the old system when it was first 8th, though. So
do you like the new system better? I do.
Yeah, so do I, yeah.
You just get your best teams playing each other straight off the bat too. Yep. So obviously more views, more money for the game. So better games as well. All right, brothers.
How important, just before we move off Manly scope, I want to ask you, obviously we're going to dive into that game more on Wednesday, like you said, but just off the top, how important is the week off for the team that they can get up here and win this at this time of the year?
Massive for both teams at the moment. Massive.
Especially this game, bro. This is going to be such a big game, physically and stuff like that.
They just played each other, right?
Yeah, they're going all in. We'll see after that game, like round 20, when I put them in the bracket, I thought at that point in time, Manly could have done with the reps and they could have been, the more footy, the better. So I bring up the point, is it better for them to finish 5th? As the games went on and you could sort of see that, like Manly have been scrappy for a couple of weeks now, but it's not through lack of effort. They've been running into each other. Have you? I don't know if you watch them closely, like Turbo, Fozzie, Cherry. They're that excited and trying to get in and get the footy and make plays that they were getting in each other's way. That's what I was noticing anyway. So for me, I feel like they're primed, like they're ready to go, and they're ready for me. They're ready for this game. And if you knock, so the big thing now is we'll talk about the play-on effects. If they win, you potentially stay away from Penrith, who for me now have probably become the form side out of the top 3. So if they can knock off Storm, or Storm can knock off Manly, go through to the finals and avoid Penrith until the last dance, that's going to be a massive bonus when it comes time to it. Because I can't see now with Latrell out, Penrith should do a number on Rabbitohs, and we'll get to that and then so forth and go forward. And
do you know who else is going to be ready? C. Bellamy.
Yeah.
That's the other side. This is probably the slept-on thing about Bellamy. Like he's been in all these different types of situations before. 2012, they lost 5 games in a row, sort of between like rounds 18 to 23 or something like that, and they went on to go win the comp. And they thought that they shouldn't, but they went and got it done. I don't know, man. He's going to have to pull out all the stops to sort of stop probably the best form player to ever exist in a single season.
And in that round that you mentioned, Scope, they more or less did shut Turbo down as much as you can. I know he still had...
If you don't score a hat-trick, you stop it on top of it. Yeah, it's Tommy. Yeah. If he sets up 2 and scores 1, that's probably the best you can do. Well, yeah. Anything less than that, it's like fucking elite.
Yeah, the way they shut Turbo down in the last game was they didn't give him the ball. They starved him of possession. I talked about it. It was one of the most clinical 15 to 20 minute periods that I've seen all year, when it was like from the 15th minute to the 35th minute, they just didn't give him back the ball. And that's when you remember when Cherry tried to do because Cherry knew that Manly were out on their feet, so he tried to come up with a play. He tried to do the short dropout, and it went out, and then they ended up kicking a penalty. And for me, they ended up, running away and scoring a couple of tries at the end. But that was a significant part of the game for me. They only went up by 2 points, I think. I think it might have been close to a draw at halftime. But that sort of showed, and that's why I think Manly will learn a little bit from that as well.
Yeah. All right, jumping across back to Melbourne, but a bit of a giggle. Cooper Johns, we've got about a minute of that queued up. I pranked the old man again, and he got Matty a beauty with this one. Hit it.
I did something at training this morning. I shoved Craig. I pushed him, I shoved him. Serious?
So straight off the bat, are you believing that?
This is what I said on Roasty's post. That was the funniest bit of the whole thing. Matty doesn't even think twice about it.
And he's got done before on this radio station by him with the whole Kurt Gidley's my dad thing.
Yeah.
Oh, so obviously, I don't know. Let's just keep rolling.
Seriously? We were having a bit of an argument, and I pushed him. Well,
if Cooper Johns pushes you, are you scared? Who wins in that fight out of Bellamy or Cooper Johns?
Oh, Belzer. Easy.
That's every day of the week.
Cooper's not a fighter.
He must be a fighter if Matty Johns is falling for it, don't you think?
No,
he's got a temper.
He's got a temper, so I think he's just the middle. So is Cooper older than Jack, or which one?
Younger.
Yeah,
It's just them two.
He's younger?
Just those two,
Yeah, just them two. Yeah, the younger kid who just get picked and bullied on all the time, and he used to have those brain snaps. Maybe he's one of those.
I don't feel like he seems too calm.
Nah, Jack's crazy as. They're completely different, them two, but exactly the same.
Probably Matty was picking on Cooper A's. All right, back into it.
Man, tell me everything, mate. Don't bullshit me.
Parenting 101, we like it.
Yeah.
I wasn't training a good couple of errors, and I was getting a bit angry, and he was getting a bit angry.
Look, mate, you pushed your coach.
Oh, fuck, that would have been funny if this actually happened.
Yeah, but you're on his side.
I just get the feeling you're not telling me everything. You've just been a little bit off. And my opinion, I reckon your probably attitude stinks.
I like that.
He's a man. He's a man. This is why people love Matty. Most of the comments are about how he fucking, and we'll get to it. Come on, he goes a little bit further on.
Done the wrong thing, mate. And I know you've got a bad temper, but it's ridiculous. So if you walk in there, mate, you just got to be ready. You got to be mentally ready if they decide to get rid of you. You need to go by.
Fuck, that's someone who's been around football a long time as well, eh? And I like how he's taken the coach side as well.
Yeah.
The easy thing as a parent, and obviously being a parent of a dog, it's easy to take your dog side, and obviously when you've got kids, it's a little bit different. So respect everything about that.
A shovel or a plunger or something, mate. But
Fuck off. You don't even know how to use a plunger, right? You've never even taught me how to.
Oh, but I don't know how Cooper does this stuff, eh? I know their family's very
He does it all the time.
He's a chip off the old block, bro. He's going to be so no matter what happens with footy, he's going to roll straight into this domain. Whether it's he'll get something.
He get a job of us.
Yeah.
good. Mate, righto, mate. Well, you just let me know. You just let me know your faith. Good on you.
Hey. Only lying.
It's Kyle and Jackie-O.
You f***ing...
Oh, bro, they're class, eh? Bro, apparently these guys get paid $8 million a year.
Yeah, they're big money.
Kyle
on
and
radio.
Jackie-O.
I like Kyle.
He's
a
funny.
Just a bit of a giggle. All right, back to the footy scope. Obviously, the final domino to fall in your top 8 prediction was the Titans. They needed to win by 11, did it by a bit more against my boys.
Yep.
Lowest performance of the year from my gang. But they secured 8th spot from the Sharks. Ice, we'll probably start with you. Obviously, you didn't see the game, so we've got a bit of the melee queued up for you. But Hoz, we'll just kind of let this play, and then we'll let you react off the back of it. So,
I actually missed the fight too.
Oh, this will be good then.
Yeah.
So
I was switching in between the. Were they on the same? No, they weren't. This was before. What else? I must have just been on my phone or something. But I missed the fight, and I seen what's his name, Wallace, and that getting sent off.
I didn't watch.
Sorry.
I didn't watch the game, so I haven't seen this fight as well. So pretty
I'll
keen.
let it roll then.
Pretty keen to see it. All right, here we go. Ooh, Walshy's got a bit of aggression.
Yeah, he does. What's happening there? So Philip Semi was seen over top of
Here
him.
comes Jazzy.
Yeah, Jazzy's always up for it, eh?
Jazzy Tavanga's about that life.
You just let it roll, bro. It goes beyond this play. It goes into the next one too.
So was Philip Semi humping him there at the start too? Was
He's just sort of G'ing him up.
Yeah.
Jazzy argues, but if you let it roll, the next one's where they go. I think they ended up with 3 sin bins at once, the Warriors.
Yeah, because then Lodge goes off. That's when I
On the
seen
plane
it.
of 10 players.
Yeah, it's this one here.
Old Mudders Wallace cops a couple on the chin.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh.
It kicks off in the background, and
Yeah.
old Big Kane Evans comes in here.
yeah.
Wait, let's just look at this again. That's a.
That's logic.
It's 50-50, but
I feel like that's all right.
yeah, in the context of the game, it was bound to kick off because here we
Kicks it
go.
off, yeah.
Here we go. Mudders. Mudders
Kane
Wallace.
Evans straight in. Go, boy.
Poor Mudders Wallace got fucking. He was just holding people, got punched twice in the head, and he got 10 of the best.
Fuck, there's a bit going on here, eh? Like, who do you look at? Bro, Dale's always up for a fight, eh?
Dale's always keen.
Can you throw him?
He's strong, bro. He's strong.
Doesn't mean you can
That's it there. So you missed what happens at the end of that is basically Matty Lodge gets marched and he starts flipping the bird to the crowd as well. So the boys just lost their head down on the scoreboard and
Hey, that's that classic New Zealand shit, eh? If you start losing, this is the start of fight, boys.
you're losing the game, win the fight. But
What about you, the fucking poor Sharkies boys watching this unfold?
They both-
because at 28-0 down before the fucking Jazz Devanga send off, you're like, geez, the Warriors are capable of 3 or 4 of the best. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're that sort of team that would just, can go on a little run.
You know what was really
and then they
interesting?
just completely lost their shit.
Fox threw to Toby Rudolph live at halftime in Sharks game. And the Warriors had completed 38% and had like 20% fucking territory at halftime. And he was just like, he's like, oh, if they complete a little bit, they're a chance. But yeah, the boys were just way off then. It was actually, I think what's the Titans coach? Is it Holbrook?
Yeah,
Holbrook mentioned after the game how proud he was of his boys for not losing their head there because he had Jamal
Get some
Fogarty.
Simbin Day.
Yeah, Jamal Fogarty going like, boys, there's bigger things. We're up 38-0.
Mm.
Like, pull your fucking heads in.
It's hard when you're on the field when that shit starts happening, though.
Yeah.
Even if you can't throw them, bro, you just want to fucking,
Yeah.
I don't know, do something fucking a little bit dodgy.
The storyline, obviously, out of that was Mudders Wallace on the mic saying sign the contract to Matty Walsh, Matty Lodge rather, and Matty Lodge is then in his Instagram comments said, "P.S. I'll sign the contract." So
Ooh.
Mudders Wallace v Matty Lodge. Scope, who you got?
Fuck, I'm taking my boy Mudders. Anyone part of Mudders United?
I think he would. I think he'd win, eh? Like, I know
Yeah,
Lodge's,
I back him.
I know Lodge's a big dude. Do you know a lot of people would actually want to watch that fight because obviously
Yeah.
with Lodge's history, like everyone, I think a lot more people would be in Wallace's corner. So
Yeah.
Sometimes those
YKTR
big,
Sports Boxing coming soon. Headlines, scope into me.
that's
Might be
easy,
like
mate.
those old school wrestling ones, and I'll come in there with a steel chair and just go fucking bang across the back of your head.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a get-go. Obviously, the Titans got up. Warriors, bit of a sour way to end the year, but yeah, Reece Walsh, Dallin, there's some boys in there that don't play that shit, but
Well, she's in it a lot.
I think he's just super. To me, he's just super competitive. Like he does that every time they're down. So does Dallin.
He's from Narang. It's a little bit rough up there in Goldie.
Yeah, that little exchange with Tyrone May about 3 or 4 weeks ago too, where
Who do you have a crack at? One of the big boys, was it Ryan James as well? A little while ago. Yeah.
Skull dragged them off the top of
Chanel.
I love that. And that when
Do you know who else is from Narang who doesn't want to fight? One B. Leary.
he can throw them too. When smaller guys like fullbacks and halfbacks get involved, that's when you see like the Jazz Devangas and Matty Lodges
Jazzy
and
doesn't
that.
need much of an invitation.
Yeah, but like that's when you like.
What,
you
did that come blink at me?
You ever see a fucking half or a little like smaller guy getting involved? It makes you want to come over.
Hey, first, shout out to the Warriors. Been here for 2 years as well, just doing their thing. Bro,
unreal.
are they a better side over here? I'm just on a...
Well, it's probably off the back of that game. It's probably hard to say, but boys need to get home and refresh.
If the Redcliffe setup next year
That's
will be,
cool.
I reckon that'll be pretty nice for him, eh?
Not the Redcliffe owner, just in Reece Walsh's there every training.
Yeah, true.
Fuck, here's a little 10K, bro. Just come sign for us. Fuck.
Anyway, jumping across, last game of the round, we actually saw a punter, the $1 multi of Doom.
Bro, this is...
We've got the bet slip there as well. Scope, you wanted to bring this up off the top. We've seen some Hail Mary punts in our time. That's one.
Is this the best you've ever seen?
This is the best I've ever seen. Scope.
130.
It was 13,000 to 1.
13,000 to 1. The balls, like, so just aside from the bet, like, the fact that he went the Bulldogs at 465 to 1 and then still put the Titans in that bet to go, like...
What about after the Warriors game? The cash out was at 23,000. They can't let it ride.
Did he?
Yeah. How about that?
Fucking legend.
I think does it say there that the bet's still pending on that slip you've got in front of you?
No,
Yeah.
it can't be 2,300.
Oh, 2,300. I'll be cashing that
Yeah.
straight away.
Nah. For $1.
Yeah.
After the Titans game, it was 2,300.
Did the West Tigers get closer scoring, like held up over the line or anything?
They were attacking the line for the first 10 to 15 minutes, and then the Bulldogs repelled them, went down, and Meany scored straight away. And then from that point on,
that's a good thing.
yeah,
You know,
it
when you
is. It's
defend up
massive.
your
It's
line.
massive. They got so much confidence in and then
They were just never in it after
you know
that.
what? Fucking.
Fuck, you just automatically just think, fuck, man, you just put $5 on, eh?
But imagine
Do you
what
think
he's
like that or no?
Imagine he's thinking right. Yeah, all the time. All the time I think about oh fuck, I wish I put more on. But at the end too, Luciano Leilua got sent off for 10, and then someone else got sent off for 10 as well for the Tigers. So it would have been even more nerve wracking because you know how remember when I had that bet on the South Penrith game last year?
Well, we're in the companion?
Yeah, we're doing the companion, and they had 11 people on the field and still scored Souths to rule my 1 to 12 bet. Imagine if you're watching this game and then the Tigers they had 2 people off for at the same period at one point, and you would have just gone it's just my luck. Here we go. Fucking the Tigers go over with 11 players, but
Fuck, that goes down in folklore as one of the great bets of all time.
Yeah,
massive.
I can only imagine how many Hail Mary $1 multis that cunt's thrown in his time.
yeah.
You just need one to hit, man.
And always remember gamble responsibly because that shit just doesn't happen.
That's very responsible, $1 bet. All right, let's finish off with obviously the games of most interest. Like you said off the top scope, we are going to dive into this more on Wednesday. But Ice, we'll start with you. Game of the most interest in finals week 1. You've gone with obviously the big one, Melbourne, Manly.
Yeah, obviously there's so many narratives that you can go into this as well. The best team that's been all year. Defensively, they've been the best team over the last 20 years going up against
Turbo, baby.
Turbo. And I know we say Turbo a lot and he should get all the raps and all that sort of stuff, but man, they got some nice pieces behind him. Obviously DCE and Fozzie do their thing as well. Jakey, the slipped on brother. Australian and New South Wales 13, and your back rowers who can very unique back rowers, very diverse. They can run a line, they can ball play. They're both fucking strong as fuck as well. So I don't know, Scope, do you see this as a shootout or a defensive masterclass? Is it going to be try for try, or are both the boys going to be going into lockdown defense?
I think it'll be somewhere in between. I know that's sitting on the fence there, but I think
a 20-20 something?
Yeah, something around that. I think initially, it'll be very similar to the last game. I reckon it'll be that, and there'll be opportunities for Melbourne, for Manly, to see if the growth over the last 5 weeks, whether they can. Because Melbourne are going to bring the pressure. Melbourne are going to fucking strangle them. They're not going to be playing like they've been playing the last couple of weeks. They will get it right for this game. But can Manly weather the storm, pardon the pun, and then fucking come back over the top of them all? Because Manly got points in them, man. Manly have got fucking points. And
the good thing about Manly's attack, they're better going left, and that's going up against Melbourne's weak side.
After we broke down that game, I said Manly have to stay away from Olam. Lay the line on Melbourne's left edge on Munster because they're so much more defensively sound. You still got question marks, whether it'd be interesting to see who they play because Remus Smith has missed a lot. He missed on the weekend. He must have got rested.
I think Remus Smith's supposed to be healthy, but it looks like they're just because George Jennings is now healthy. I think they're just rolling with Lumi. So
no, I doubt it.
Sure.
I doubt it. I reckon it'll be Iramea or George Jennings. And then for me, you've got to attack that edge. They don't have many weaknesses, and it's not even a weakness compared to other teams.
It's just not as strong as the rest of them.
It's just not as strong, you know what I mean? So, that's and you got Josh Schuster playing that fucking no looker out the back to Turbo. You've got a little variation where. I don't want to give away too many secrets to the Bird Gang, but now they're setting up in that shape and then dropping Tommy underneath, which is a nice variation and very hard to defend. So
because it gets your defense going sideways and Tommy's just go crank.
Yeah. It's already breaks 9 tackles. So
that's the thing. So they can, like I said before, we've talked about it before, you can essentially run the same shape and then just have little different variations off it depending on what Melbourne are going to do. So
fuck that first 20 is important.
Yeah, massive. And it'll be the period. I'll wait till we break it down because I've got some good points on.
No, go.
Well, just with the Melbourne have thrived. Everyone always talks about Melbourne, right? You shut down fucking Turbo. You beat Manly. You shut down Nathan Cleary last year in the
GF.
Manly have to pick a player for Melbourne and shut them down for me, and they've got to shut down one or two people, because this is the thing. This is where it's hard with Melbourne because they're so balanced.
Yeah.
If I'd pick one back and one forward for them, and they'd be my head on the plate. Justin Olam and Harry Grant when he comes onto the field. Harry Grant, you have to.
It was special on the
Harry Grant's the X factor. Like, he's the X factor for him. And when he comes on and Cheese does all the gritty stuff for him, looks like that's the way they're going to flow again. You've got to do a number on Harry, and you've got to be sound. So that'll be the job of the benchy forwards. So I'm talking Kepi coming off the bench, T Sips. I think if Tanyela Paseka's starting again. Josh Allaway, if he's in the team,
he's been good, bro.
He's been unreal. So that the middles for the bench for Manly, big task of shutting down the Harry Grant and the pool cleaner. The pool cleaner has to just get up every time he sees.
He had another really good defensive game over
He's
the
a
weekend.
good defensive centre, bro.
He's gone.
Yeah,
he's got to be.
I think Olam's been off a little bit these past couple of weeks as well. So
well, if we talked about the Parramatta game where. Penasini did a really good job against Thing, and he just sort of got in his face, and every time he got the ball and he tacked his legs and went after him, the pool cleaner's going to have to come up with a 10 out of 10 for them to be a chance. And DC's got to get in on it, and Sabi's got to get in on it. Like, if you get beaten by Yeremia or you get beaten by Remus Smith, or you can cop that like after a game, but it's if Olam beats you again like he did with 2 tries and fucking he's throwing the ball on the ground when he's scoring and fucking getting in people's faces. You can't live with that for me, so we'll break that down a little bit more on Wednesday.
They'll obviously be sweating on.
Munster's
I was about to say they'll be sweating on Prez's health. I'm sure they'll leave. They'll give him every opportunity, but
that'll be. I reckon that'll be fucking right up to game time.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty blessed, and they've got Nico Hines who could just roll straight in there.
It's not the same.
It's not the same,
bro.
but
It's not the same.
yeah,
Big
Still
game.
good. Still good.
Yeah, Nico Hines, massive season, great season. Pappy, he's back to his full. But if you're playing September footy, you want the Prez because he's fucking been there and done that. He's been in big Origin games. He's been in big finals. He steps up. So we probably won't know that until fucking just before kickoff.
Yeah,
30 minutes before.
You know, I always like to give a little nod to an unsung hero, Scope.
Yeah, go on.
I've liked me some Lachlan Croker this year as well.
Yeah.
He came in, obviously Manasi Finu was going to be the guy, and he hasn't been available, but he's done a job for them all year. And I love Carl Lawton. I thought Croker was going to struggle to keep Lawton out of the starting job, but he's been unreal, Croker.
Yeah, he's good. Like, bro, don't sleep on Croker. He was like a superstar coming through. So him and like Nathan Cleary were like the junior Kangaroos halves as well.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, but he's had like 2 or 3 knee recos. So he was a really good 5'8" in fullback. So I got to play a little bit with him at Mounties, which was like the feeder side for Canberra. Really great kid as well, just a country kid, really nice. So, but he's skillful, bro. He's obviously plays tough as well. But
he's going through a mountain of defence.
But he's not a dud that they just grabbed up off the street. He's a good player.
The big thing is too, like now that it's funny you just said that because when I started thinking about it, Desi X9, Matty Ballin and Michael Monaghan X9s that were they're assistant coaches now. So they almost had, he had the perfect guys. And he reminds me so much of Matty Ballin and the way that he's flown now. Like whenever people talk about those big men, like those grouse Manly teams over the years, Matty Ballin's name never really gets mentioned, but he was so important. And he didn't have to be Cameron Smith for us at Manly, or even before I got there and they won their comps. Good service, defend well, and that's what Lachlan Croker's doing now.
Scored a couple of tries in the GF, so so.
He's out searching for 40-20s now, Croker as well. Confident as. And Scope, your game of the round obviously is the knockout one. You've gone with the Gold Coast versus the Roosters. I think the Gold Coast are disrespectful to be at $4. Maybe it's just because they beat the shit out of my boys, but how do you see it playing out?
Yeah, so this is why I've been completely wrong with these teams all year. So this is what the game I'm most looking forward to.
The fake Scope Cup.
So at the start of the year, we talked about my bracket from week 20. And although I nailed this bracket, at the start of the year, I had... Everyone knows by now, I had the Roosters missing the 8, and that was where Scope was wrong. And then I also had the Titans making the top 4, where Scope was wrong. But apart from that, that was the only mistake I made from the start of the year. And it's a big mistake, obviously, because the Roosters have performed so well. And then I've even started thinking...
Roosters going to pump him.
See, this is where it's hard for me to have my opinion on it because I've been so wrong on both teams all year. But yeah,
what do you mean?
Well, I'm starting to think Titans are a chance in this game. This is
no, they're not.
The Titans' average winning margin when they've won games this year has been 22 points. So if they win big. But if they lose big.
Roosters going to pump him. Titans haven't played finals football in a minute. They sort of had their finals moment 2 weeks ago when they could have beaten the Knights. Couldn't even put points on the Knights. The Roosters going to smack them. Respectfully. Shout out Titans.
Shout out Jaden Campbell.
Shout out Jaden Campbell. Shout out.
I don't know, man. Those Titans.
Well, why are they at $4?
That $4 is too much. I reckon the start's
That'll
a great
shorten
bet.
up.
I reckon the start's a great bet for the Titans.
Yeah. And what about Ice?
The class will probably get Roosters over. Like, I just don't think they'll
Hutchison
smack
and
them.
the boys.
Yeah, Mudders Hutchinson. Geez, he had a good game on the weekend, Mudders Hutchinson.
Good, bro.
Oh,
He's good. He
yeah.
played Green 2.0.
Yeah, he could be.
Interesting to see where he ends up. Is he good enough for a starting? Oh, he's good. Obviously good enough.
Well,
for
he's
a
not going to
starting.
be. He's not going to be part of that. Does he
When-
push out
When
fucking?
Carey and Sam Walker are back, I don't see him.
But like Sam Walker's there now.
Yeah, so Sam Walker will be the 7 and Carey will be the 6, I would assume.
I don't know.
That's
man.
what I mean. He's starting to make a case for fucking Kez back to thing and then starting the season.
Samuel will get first crack, I reckon.
Well, yeah, like
He's playing well.
Trent Robinson.
Relax, though.
Trent Robinson is sort of the guy that I could see starting the year with Mudders Hutchinson and still letting Sam
Yeah, I
Walker
agree.
develop. And
But then
you
you got
know,
Connor Watson in the 14, so he's going to have to develop in North Sydney Bears.
yeah,
Might be a good thing. Like he's like, if you went to the end of 2 years, like when Sam Walker debuted to 2 years, and you go, oh, he would have played 18 games by now. Doesn't matter where they are.
Yeah.
I think you'd be in a really good spot, and he might have to just go back to reserve grade for a little bit.
it could be good for him. He won't want to do it, but it could be. You know, if you think long term, they're going to invest.
He looks tired, eh?
They're going to invest. Because he's so small, bro.
Yeah.
He's like.
Seen him on the hit shields before the game.
Getting banged.
And even like as much as we've like been raving about Reece Walsh, he's had games where he just looked a bit small and like the season was starting to wear down on him in certain games. Like that's the tough thing about being a young guy. Like some of these young guys are coming
He's a dad too.
Yeah, yeah.
Looking after kid as well pretty early on.
You know, Jaden Campbell's had some nice games, but he's also not had to play all the time because they've had Brimo.
Jaden Campbell's probably an example of a guy in that same sort of vein of form, but he started way later. So Jaden Campbell's hitting where Reece was hitting mid-year, where Samuel Walker was hitting week 7, week 8.
And we haven't had a chance to see the down
It's
game.
one of your better takes there, Jacko.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, Roosters, for me, I think Roosters pump him. I think they just got too much class. Like as much as great as Campbell is, look on the other side. Like look on the team sheet who he's lining up against. And then with all the boys back, and I think Jared comes back this week as well.
He does, yeah.
They're just too tough.
They should be favourites. Scope, I just wanted to ask before
Yeah, they
we
would
roll off the Titans. It's probably taken them a bit later in the year, but they look like they've nailed their rotation now with David Fafita coming off the bench. Do you like that?
Yeah, we said it a couple of weeks ago that
Because a lot of people see starting money and think you have to start. No, money should be equated to value and fucking points.
I want to give him a rap actually because he's the guy that's holding.
Bo Firma.
Bo Firma.
Firma, yeah.
Bo Falloon.
Bo Firma or Bo Firma. How do you pronounce
Shout
that?
out Bo Falloon.
Fuck, he's a nice player. Man.
Yeah, it's Firma, yeah.
And he's like the reason they've been able to keep. That's the reason they've been able to keep David Fafita on the bench because he does a good job on the left edge. Even Kevy Proctor missed on the weekend. Tino's doing his thing. Mo Fatawaker. Mudders Wallace has been fucking rock solid for him.
He's very linky as well, Mudders Wallace,
Yeah.
at the moment.
Got a nice little
and you're
pass
right.
on.
You talk about combinations as well. Not only Dave Fafita starting off the bench, but Tyrone Peachy into that 6 for him too.
Yeah.
Has been.
He's good at ice. You probably speak to this better than me, but just looking at him when he's in that 5'8" role, obviously when you say he's a footballer, he just plays eyes up and does what he does. But he's very willing to just give early ball to guys like Kelly and Fafita and all that. Like he doesn't overplay his hand on a lot of those possessions.
Yeah, I think I like him at 5'8" because like when he's a back rower, he'll start to like roam.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
That's your Siri on here.
On what?
on your computer.
I didn't even say Siri. When he's back rower, he can start to roam a lot, like a little bit too much as well. So you'll drop him under and he'll end up on the other side of the field, which fucks up your shape. Now he's a 6 and he has to organise that edge. It kind of keeps him over there as well. Like he still can float and stuff as well like that, but it doesn't fuck up the rest of your shape. So he can run out the back of their half and net and go that side, then come back and run his. But like I said, he's a natural footballer.
And if they get a quick play of the ball, he
goes
scoots.
Yeah. The best thing is
he's strong, bro, for a little dude.
Yeah, he's strong, bro. The best thing about it is he's not making those tackles that he makes when he's in the middle as well. So sitting on the left edge and making 20 compared to in an 80-minute game compared to 20 in fucking 30 or 40 minutes that he makes, it just takes the juice out of your legs. So
he's funny, man. Like when we were at Penrith together, bro. Like any little game, like we could make up a game right here.
Yeah.
Like cricket with the broomstick.
Yeah.
Fuck, he's in there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Golf, bro, anything. I think Gus Gould said it one time. He goes, sometimes you drive past like a bunch of kids playing touch on the side of the football or like on the grass. He goes, you look over and you expect to see Tyrone Peachy there. He was just like, bro, just keen to play everything, bro. You could be like, oh, first one hit this pole. You just start jogging over. Yeah. Just skillful, man.
I said to Ice as well, Scope, they mentioned it in commentary, but it's a bit ironic that the team that knocks the Sharks out of contention was led by a Peachy and a Campbell.
Oh, so that's nice.
Footy, you like that. Footy does that.
Yes, I do. I love that.
We used to have this thing at so we used to have a coach that focused purely on tackle 5 at Penrith.
Yep.
It was pretty important. Like once he started breaking down all the numbers and stuff like that, pretty important job. But he used to call like a loose ball was called crumbs. And he used to call Tyrone Peachy the crumb team specialist. Because whenever there's a ball on the ground, bro, it always seems to end up in his hands.
Fuck
bro.
it. As soon as you started saying that, I was thinking, yeah, that is him straight away.
Bro, I don't know. He's just always in and around the ball. So I don't know. He's
that's a big stat, that one too, that last tackle. I remember we
stopping tries and scoring them on 5.
We were really defensively sound at Manly for maybe 13 or 14. But our last tackle was like, that's where we're letting
everyone
all our
switch on.
points. Yeah, it was almost like 50% of our fucking tries were getting scored on the last. So
that's where we sort of got that, that Jack and Jill I've talked about in shape.
Yeah.
That's
kicking
where
up for fucking kick out.
They made that up off the back of that as well. So we used to have like tackle 5 games and stuff, like left versus right, so you could score tries and stuff.
Sick.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, sick. All right, well, that is the YKTR Sports Show, Isaac. Obviously, you guys will be back on Wednesday to break down all the finals footy. But
I'm pumped for this. We're going in depth. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate you as always. See you later.